Discussion?
Mr. President.
Question, Mr. Craig, you have a question? Discussion?
I do have some discussion. I was very surprised to see that we're going to try to put a 2.25% income tax increase on the ballot, or total income tax. It just seems to me that it's very irresponsible, and we're almost trying to run the ship aground here. I understand there are some concerns about trying to keep service levels where they're at these reduced levels, but if we don't pass anything, we're going to lose big time here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. It reminds me of the parable where you're trying to catch monkeys and you tie a jar full of peanuts to a tree, and a monkey comes in there and grabs too many peanuts and can't get his hands out. And he's stuck, he's lost. And I don't want to see that happen to us. I would rather see us try to go to 2%, which is almost a standard now, and it's very acceptable emotionally and psychologically to residents, than to try to tell them we're going to be a 2.25% city.
Okay. We had, I'm sorry you weren't available for the discussion, but the reason behind that, did you have an opportunity to ask you if you talked to Mr. Pileski? You said you had, so I'm assuming you understand the predicament we're in here.
Well, I understand where the revenues are going. I understand what the potential. I see the numbers that were presented, that we may be at a deficit here at the end of the year, but I would rather not be at that. I would rather be at half of that.
So you'd rather be irresponsible and have a deficit than go and ask the citizens what they want?
No, I'd rather ask the citizens to come at least meet us halfway.
And I thought you talked to, if we go halfway, as you suggest, we're going to be in a deficit.
If we try for 2.25%, how many people up here honestly believe that we're going to pass an income tax that's going to get us 2.25%? Even if,
I think you're the only one up here,
holding,
you and Mr. Gibbs are the only two up here that don't think that people want to do anything.
Even if we're going to hold the residents over a barrel and threaten that we're going to cut their services even more, and we've already closed pools, we've already taken services away, and we've already laid people off, I don't think that we're going to be able to hold the citizens over a barrel far enough that they're going to pass this. And that scares me for where the city's going to be without anything.
Well, I don't think you know the citizens of Elyria very well, then.
I've walked around and probably talked to a lot more of them than you have, Ken.
Yeah, you really think you have?
You want to personally attack me, let's talk about your reputation as the phantom councilman.
Well, hey, what kind of a deal are you talking about?
I have residents from your ward calling me, Ken, because they say you don't return their phone calls. I think I've talked to a lot more residents than you have, Mr. Burkhardt.
Well, I doubt that you have.
But thank you. Can we get back, point of order, sir? Can we get back to the business at hand?
Yes,
Thank you.
And I think that one of the things that we need to do is give the people an opportunity to vote on this.
I agree that we need to give the people an opportunity to vote on a tax increase. I don't agree on the amount.
What? And again, I ask you, did you have an opportunity? Mr.
I'm telling you my reasons why,
you want to
Mr.
tell
Burkhardt.
him?
I've told you my reasons why. I've seen the documentation. I've had an opportunity to talk to anybody I want to talk to. And I'm telling you my reasons. I've talked to a lot of residents. I've received a lot of feedback from residents about this. How many phone calls have you received? How many have you returned?
I mean, Mark, do you want to personally attack me? Is that what the whole point is in this discussion? Mr. Tanner.
Yes. I know Mark's feelings and mine were the same. But when you talk to the auditor and you just seen us drop another million something here, the 1/4%, if that's what you're pushing, and if you're wanting to go by people's opinion, they don't want anything, okay? They don't want anything, and we know that. But we've got to have them, and we've got to let them have a chance to look. Here's where we're at. A 1/4% is going to hold us basically where we're at, and we're not making it where we're at. And if you think we are and we're getting things done, I got news for you, because the calls that I have and I put in that I used to get taken care of a week or two or a month now, getting handled because of the shortness of help and other things, breakdowns, whatever happens, it changes things. The 1/2% we're asking to vote for the purpose of bringing us even and up about. There still isn't going to be a bunch of money that you think it can just be dished out and wasted, because believe me, it wouldn't take long. This is going to have to hold you for a while, because you can't, lose it, go right back where you're at, and even ask again for less. Then if that passed, you're stuck forever with that. you ought to know you're not going to make it, Mark. It's that simple. I'm as much against it as you are, but it's like a catch-22. You know, we haven't got any other options. I mean, if you think, you know, getting rid of everybody is going to do it, I guess that's you can think that way, but it's not going to do it. But, you know, it's just like, not getting personally, but lawyers and everybody you got to deal with in these things seem to want their share too. Anytime we get anything for the, you know, go to get anything for the wastewater treatment or everything else, you have to negotiate, you have to go through, you have to have attorneys, and that.
Well, that's part of the
You gotta
problem.
pay it. You gotta pay the bill.
That's part of the problem too, Larry.
I
we had
know.
this fire audit presentation that talked about all these perks and things that they've never seen anywhere else in the country. That's not acceptable to people. You know, what about the collaborative processes that the audit committee recommended? You know, we're not trying these things. Try to go down those roads. We're going to bury our heads in the sand and say, here's the numbers we got, here's the numbers we have to meet. Let's just ask the people to do it.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing we have to go to, in all honesty, and we can't just put it on them, you know, like the government does to us. And you talk about waste, you better start at the top, the federal government. Holy mackerel. Look at the bonuses they gave out and everything. You think we're doing something with longevity. Look at those bonuses they hand out of a company going under, and we give them billions of dollars. And they turn around and spend 5-point-some billion of it just in bonuses for these good people that they talk about that helped them get in the hole they're in. Now, you figure that one out, but that's just the way it is. And right now, we have no choice. It's this, we don't get it, then we'll have to look at what to go from there, because we're just falling farther in debt every year. Every month, every month. And it just can't keep on. Just like you know, you're a fighter. You're fighting an individual. He's got you in the corner. He's knocking your brains out, and all you're doing is hoping, you know, the bell will ring and you'll be saved by the bell, or the ref is smart enough to get him off of you and stop the fight because you're bleeding. And this is what's happening to us. And it's not going to stop, I'm telling you, with 0.25%. And that's why I have to try and help them go with the 0.5%.
It's not going to stop with 0%.
Mr. Kircher.
You know, this is exactly what Mark's saying. Here we are, another contract here, another contract there, another raise there. How many people got fired from the mayor's office? A safety service director stepped down. Corporate America, they lose their job. See ya, bye. Gotta save money everywhere. And until this, I'm not supporting this. Until this administration cuts it to the bare bones, then comes to they make $40,000 a year. It's $200. Well, that might be their $200 for their health insurance. We gotta start saving money. We can't go, oh, we're gonna sign this contract, another fire thing. Well, you know what I mean? We gotta cut money. We gotta show it. We have to show it. And I've been here on council, and I think we have a very weak council. And it shows that we have weak government here. So, and it's up to council's responsibilities. Put their teeth in here and save money and put the brakes on, because that's what's been going on in Elyria. I've lived here my whole life, and it's going down the tubes.
Well,
So-
not even all the council members have even given something back. I mean, we're not even leading by
Mr.
example.
Craig. All right.
So, you know what I mean?
All right, questions called.
Ken, call the question. I'd like a roll call, courtesy roll
Yes.
call vote.
Roll call vote on the suspension.
Mr. Lotko.
Aye.
Mr. Gibbs.
Nay.
Mr. Callahan.
Aye.
Ms. Mitchell.
Aye.
Mr. Bullocks.
Aye.
Mr. Craig.
Nay.
Mr. Stewart.
Aye.
Mr. Brubaker.
Aye.
Mr. Tanner. Mr. Kirschner.
Nay.
Mr. Burkhardt.
Aye.
8 ayes, 3 nays. The suspension passes.